Welcome back to Chef Robin's Corner. Today what we're going to do is I'm making dinner for Mark and me tonight. So I'm just going to show you what a typical one skillet dinner looks like that we would do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the garlic and the onions ready. And I just use a jar with some mung beans in it, to crush my garlic. And I crush it really well because I want to release those sulfur compounds, those cancer fighting sulfur compounds, and the only way you can do that is to crush them or chop it. So the more you crush them, the better. Same with the onions, you want to release those compounds. Same with the cruciferous vegetables, and we have several cruciferous vegetables we're going to just start chopping this garlic. The smaller you chop it, the better. You can also use a garlic press if you want. And I want to it needs to sit for a little while, so that's why I'm doing this first. I'm going to get the garlic and the onion all chopped, and then I'm going to let it sit for a while to release those compounds. Mark and I always keep in the refrigerator like an quarter or eighth onion, because we eat a lot of raw onion with our meals, because that's very, very good for you. It's very protective against cancer. So what I'm going to do is just do some of this onion, and I'm going to cut it up with this. I've already chopped my garlic, so I'm just going to kind of chop this up in there with that. And I'm going to end up putting this on the bottom of the skillet, and it will flavor all of our vegetables, which will go on top of it. Our onions are ready to go into the pan. So I'm going to just take this, stick it right on the bottom of the pan. And then we'll just move on to our next ingredient. We've got quite a few veggies, so we're going to go ahead and get all these veggies done. And I'm going to take these collard greens, and I'm going to go, the stems are really good. I just cut them in little pieces. They're very nice. And then I just take my collard greens and I just roll them up. Okay, so now I've kind of chopped that up, and I'm going to kind of squeeze it and run it through my hands, bruise it to release those compounds. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Brussels sprouts here. So what I do is I cut off the ends like this. I want to get that some of the outer peel. These look all right. I don't have to get much of it. These are organic. So what I do is I'll just cut it in half, throw it in there next to that, cut the end off, cut it in half. I'm going to do the green beans. I'm just going to cut them like this. Try to cut everything so they're all going to cook at about the same length of time. And we eat everything kind of tender, crisp. So now,
is there an advantage to cooking at a lower temperature?
Yes, we're going to cook this. This is Salad Master cookware, which is it's the Rolls Royce of cookware, and it actually has the core goes all the way up the sides, so it cooks very evenly. It almost bakes. And we cook everything at a very low temperature, under 200 degrees. And that way we retain most of the nutrients. Now we're going to do this sweet potato. And I will just slice it. And this is a purple Stokes purple sweet potato. Very, very high in the same antioxidants you'll find in blueberries. And so I'm slicing them fairly thin, as you can see, because I want everything to be done at the same time. So I'm going to put these sweet potatoes in here. And by the way, these sweet potatoes are the same kind of sweet potatoes they eat in one of the blue zones. That's in Okinawa. And the people in the blue zones are areas in the world that they've studied that have the longest lived people. And so these sweet potatoes, they eat primarily these sweet potatoes. They have very low incidence of cancer, heart disease, any of the killer diseases that we have, diabetes. And so next, this is broccoli rabe. It's one of my favorite vegetables. I just love it. It's a wonderful flavor. This, you can see, it has, you can see it's got the little broccoli things, but it's very leafy, and it has a stronger flavor than broccoli. I'm very glad we have it. I do get it at the Natural Grocer here in Joplin. It's, not every place has it. but you can probably request it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut these little ends off like this. I do like the stems as well, so I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut them in small pieces, but I'm not going to cut up the little broccoli type florets because they'll all fall apart. So I cut this like this, and again, this is one of these things I'm going to kind of squeeze when I put it in there, and I am cutting it in small pieces, so we're going to get those wonderful cancer-fighting compounds are going to be released, because it's when you injure the plant that these compounds are released. So we're getting kind of close to that, so let me just get this in here. Look at this nice skillet of stuff here. I'm just filling it up. And now I'm going to pull out these little things so that I don't cut them up terribly and have them all come apart on me. Little florets. Quite a few little florets on this one. Okay, so now this rest of this I'm going to go ahead and cut up in smaller pieces. Kind of chop this up, you can see. So I'm going to pile this still in this little pile over here. I'm going to squeeze it. See how kind of the green starts to come off on my hands, which is what you want. And then this I'm going to just chop up to those little florets. And here. First, Dr. Furman is the one who really taught me about this broccoli rabe or rapini. And I just have, it's just incredible. There are Italian restaurants on the East Coast will often have sauteed rapini, which I always get if I go to any of those restaurants. Okay, so now we will move on to regular broccoli. Okay, here's our last vegetable, and this is going to be broccoli. I'm going to cut it off here, and what I do, the stem is really good on broccoli, so what I do is I just peel the stem. Just like this. And if you're taking one of my classes, you'll have all your stuff ready to go in your refrigerator, and you'll have your beans cooked, which you're going to see in a minute, which I have. Just throw those there, and then I do like to have the broccoli, you know, with the florets. I don't usually chop it up as much. Sometimes in salads I do. So I'm going to miss out on some of the benefits, but I look at all the other benefits I have going on in here. And the Brussels sprouts, it's good to kind of, you can also crush them with a pestle. Okay, so what we have here is we have all of our vegetables. So now what I'm going to add is I have some pinto beans. And I'm going to add our pinto beans because we want to have our beans. So what we have in here is we have lots of leafy vegetables, green vegetables, and we've got starchy sweet potato. So this is everything we need for dinner. I will make a little sauce with this, and you'll get to see this sauce. So this is probably about half a cup. So I'm going to do probably for the two of us. I've already had beans today, so I'll do a little bit more. And that's enough. And now so anyway, this Salad Master, this is the inside of the Salad Master is a sheet of titanium stainless steel. It's the same metal that they use to make implants for teeth or knees or hip replacement parts. And the reason they do that is because they use this is because it does not leach and it does not interact with any of the chemicals in the body, nor with the food. All of your other cookware, even stainless steel, is going to react, and you are going to get some heavy metals and some chemicals. So we don't get any with this, and the food tastes pristine and wonderful, and it's nice for storage because these little things just pop on. And I've got this little thing that lets me know when it hits 212 degrees, it'll start clicking. And this is waterless cookware. I don't really have to use any water.
Or oil.
No oil. If I didn't wash these vegetables, so I might add just a little bit when it starts cooking. But we're going to put this on. And now we're going to move on to make a sauce. So you all will be hearing the click, click, click at some point during this process. Now I'm going to put some salt-free spike on this, and this is really delicious seasoning. You can get this at Suzanne's Natural Foods, the salt-free spike. And I put I put a generous amount because it's all good for you. So now what I've done is it's on medium. This is what it looks like, salt-free spike. And so now I've got this skillet is on medium, and I don't want it on high. I started on medium. I'll wait for it to click, and after it clicks for a little while, then I will turn it down to low and just leave it there until we're ready to eat. It usually, something like this size, probably takes about 15 minutes. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to make a creamy mint sauce. And what I'm going to do is I've got right here a bullet, works just fine. I'm going to put in I've got about 2/3 cups of cashew pieces, raw cashew pieces. And then I'm going to do hemp seeds. Hemp seeds, because the raw cashews are more of an omega-6 fatty acid, and you want a lot of the omega-3. So the hemp, you're going to get your omega-3s in here. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of hemp. So you might want to write all this down.
And that is raw hemp seeds.
Yes, raw hemp seeds. And so here I'm going to put some Bragg liquid aminos in here. This is a teaspoon. I'm going to do about half a teaspoon.
And we could see the label on that.
And now I'm just going to do, let's see, I'll go ahead and throw it in here. I'm probably going to do at least a cup of mint leaves. And I'm just kind of stripping them off the stem.
Any type of mint?
It doesn't matter. This is just what we've got growing out in the yard. I think this is this spearmint?
Spearmint.
This is spearmint. We also grow other types. This is just what's coming up now. We have pineapple mint. I think we have a chocolate mint. We have several different types of mint. So it's whatever you've got, whatever you want to use. And you can do it with oregano. You can do it with dried herbs. You can do it with whatever you want. And I can decide if I want, do I want a creamy mint sauce, or do I want a green mint sauce? So I think maybe today we'll have a green mint sauce. And so that stem's all right. Some of the stems are all right. Since I'm just going to really blend it up, I'm going to do a green mint sauce. It'll be real pretty. And so here we have about, that's going to be about a cup at least. So here we go. Dump that in there. And now I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of lemon.
And it could be lime juice.
Yes, and this is lemon and lime juice. And I'm going to make it fairly garlicky. Oh, I think I'll just do 1 large clove. I don't want to get it too hot with garlic. And I do a little onion in there. Not too much, but a little, because it gives it a good flavor, like chives or something. So I'm only going to do like about this much onion in here.
Could you put a little cayenne pepper or spicy
could.
pepper in it?
Yes, we could. You could indeed. So now I'm going to put, this is 2 cups of water. See? And it'll be a rather thin sauce. Normally add some navy beans to this, but we don't have any. And if I did black beans or something, it would be an ugly color, so I didn't want to do that. But that'll make it thicker. So this will be it won't be as thick a sauce as if I did the beans. Okay, now I'm going to taste it and see if I need to adjust it. Needs a little bit more of the Bragg. So I'm just going to do a squirt more. Blend it for about 1.5 minutes. And I now have it just about right. Oh, but do we want some dates in it?
Sounds good.
Just to give it a little touch of sweetness, I'm going to put in 3 dates. And you can just get dates like Dole pitted dates or whatever from the grocery store. You might want to soak them a little bit first. But they're usually fairly soft. So I'm just going to put 3 in there. And we'll blend those up. It's very tasty. It's minty. It's not very sweet, just slightly. That gives it, because we don't use much salt at all. And so when you make it, your food either has to have some sweetness to it or some saltiness to it, or it'll be very bland.
There is some saltiness to the Braggs, but
but not very much. So here we have, this is essential oil, lemon essential oil. And this is food grade, and it's by a company called Loran Oils. You can order it online, and some health food stores have food grade essential oil. And so I'm going to do, just to give it a little, gild the lily a little bit, I'm going to give it like 1, 2, 3 drops of lemon oil. just to give it a little bright lemony flavor with the mint. Ready to unveil our veggie dish, our one skillet veggie dish. There it is, all done. So now I'm going to serve, and look at the size of our bowls that we're using. I mean, we eat a lot of food when we eat all this plant matter. So you can see, compared to me, compared to this skillet, how big that bowl is. So now I'm going to start here with our beans. We'll do the sweet potatoes. Broccoli rabe. Broccoli. Look at all these vegetables. And they're just they're tender crisp, so they're not overcooked, and they cooked under 200 degrees in the Salad Master. And that wonderful little clicker lets us know so that we don't destroy the nutrients in our vegetables. Now I'll do Brussels sprouts, greens, and now for the green beans. We'll have a little leftover. Somebody might have seconds. So there we have, that's the bowl. I'm going to put the sauce on. But keep in mind, it took about 20 minutes to prep all these vegetables in the pan, and it took another 15 minutes of steaming them, of cooking them in the pan.
And during that time, I
made the sauce while they were steaming in the pan. So there, you want to drench them because the sauce is good for you. And because we don't use oil, but we have to get fat, and you need to have fat with all these green vegetables to absorb it. So we use nuts and seeds for, if I didn't do a sauce, I would have sprinkled them on top, some hemp seeds and some other maybe pumpkin seeds. But you always need to have fat when you're eating these things, but oil is just a processed food. So you want the fat in context, because it's with the whole food, whether it be avocado. I could have put avocado in that as well. So we're going to eat now. I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you for watching.
And the first bite in every bite will be
Oh, so tasty good.